The standard gauge railway, which debuted in Kenya 6 years ago, was hailed by Kenyan officials as one of the biggest and most successful projects since the nation's independence in the 1960s. Travel time from Mombasa to Nairobi used to be up to 10 hours. Now it only takes about 5 to 6 hours.
If you're a businessman, you're going for an interview, it saves your time.
Kenya borrowed some $5 billion from China to build railway lines connecting the port city of Mombasa to Nairobi and Nairobi to Naivasha. This is part of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative, or the BRI. It's a global infrastructure, trade, and telecommunications project that includes the goal of connecting Kenya to Uganda, Rwanda, and South Sudan.
The good side, one is that it's a framework for transportation of goods, transportation of cargo.
But economist Vincent Kimosop wishes some things were done differently for the railway, also called SGR.
I wish those who were responsible for negotiating the SGR would have actually looked at the repayment. It's a massive investment project. To have repayments be done in less than 20 or 30 years, that was quite ambitious.
During its construction, critics of the project protested its potential impact on wildlife. A part of this railway cuts through the Nairobi National Park. Over the last decade, some 150 countries have joined the initiative, including most African countries.
Africa's population is growing significantly, and there's a need on the continent for more infrastructure. From the Chinese perspective, Africa is desirable because it wants to secure inputs for its manufacturing sector. And when it looks around the world, a lot of these, whether it's copper, cobalt, or other minerals, are found in Africa.
Countries such as Kenya, Ethiopia, and Zambia have seen massive Chinese-built infrastructure. But some countries have also been struggling with debt, including Zambia, a major Chinese borrower, which was the first country to default on its debt during the pandemic. The West has been critical of China for lending to poor countries and says it must quickly provide relief to those that ended up with unpayable debts.
Prompt action on debt is in China's interest.
Sachs notes a lot of countries joined BRI at a time when economic growth was quite robust, but that shifted.
The first shock, of course, was the COVID-19 pandemic, which really eviscerated global economic growth, but also hit the developing world particularly hard. And then the second one, I think, of course, was the war in Ukraine. Africa, major importers of food, as well as oil, prices for those commodities have gone up tremendously.
Back at the train station, many of these travelers mostly enjoyed their ride.
It is a safe mode of transport that we as Kenyans, we embrace it.
A recent Boston University study finds that lending to Africa by China has dropped to the lowest level in 2 decades. Analysts, however, say while the BRI is here to stay, Beijing may be moving towards smaller investments. Mariama Diallo, VOANews, Nairobi.